On today's show, we celebrate life outdoors at Minnesota's Great Get-Together. Home base for today's adventure, the Minnesota-bound cabin. Check out this year's new gear and get the scoop behind the big seller, Camp Chow. Fireside food made right on the edge of the Boundary Waters.
We could make 100 more.
We help you plan your visit to the Northwoods, plus a look back at one of the fair's most popular exhibits.
Minnesota Bound. Brought to you by Minnesota's select GMC dealers.
Hi everybody, welcome to the Minnesota State Fair and the Minnesota Bound Log Cabin.
Yeah, the cabin looks great this year, doesn't it? We have our native prairie landscaping and even our recycled plastic furniture here. Hey, we've got a really busy show today, which is why we have the entire team on hand.
And up first, Travis is going to tell us a tale about the Northwoods, an area where you can find us.
Yeah, the Northwoods is home to almost everything outdoors at the fair. Let me show you around. Minnesota. Loons, walleyes, Paul Bunyan, they're all icons here. But for 12 days every summer, they take a backseat to this place, the Great Minnesota Eat Together. On Cooper Street, the Northwoods give fairgoers a glimpse into the great outdoors. Here, you won't go hungry and you won't get bored. Little kids and big kids can play on tractors, boats, and Polaris ATVs. On the Northwoods stage, the Timberworks Lumberjacks know how to put on a show.
Jack and Jill sawing, axe throwing, chainsaw carving, climbing, and boom running. Everyone on our team always looks forward to the Minnesota State Fair.
After the sawdust settles here, flannel fun turns into a fur flying frenzy.
Our All-Star Stunt Dog Show is going to make a splash here at the Minnesota State Fair for the 5th year.
Every all-star stunt dog comes with an all-star story.
These dogs are rescues from pounds and shelters, so we want to encourage people to check the shelters and pounds first. Some great dogs out there. They're all different breeds, different ages.
All the Northwoods shows are family-friendly and free. After the live shows, I head to Giggles Campfire Grill. Here, Minnesota's outdoor menu comes in 14 original Giggles recipes.
Our new item this year is a turducken sausage sandwich. Phenomenal, to die for. The duck bacon wontons took the fair by storm last year. We sold 33,000 orders of them. I love it. I mean, I can't get enough of the Minnesota State Fair. I've sold all my businesses. This is the one that I'm concentrating on now. It's just been phenomenal.
If you take anything from me today, let it be this. Do not pass on the walleye cakes. Am I right?
We have the toppings here. We have M&M's.
Meet Grandma Marilyn,
If you like frosting on, we could put lots of frosting on.
a spry 86-year-old entrepreneur selling her Cinnabons at the State Fair for the very first time.
Put those on, or you can put sprinkles on. Whatever your heart desires. And they call them Cinnabons because my kids keep saying, Mom, they're so sinful because of all the caramel. Enjoy.
Here in the Eco Building, Minnesota's water takes center stage. Belly up to this bar for mystery water shots. You ready?
Ready. This is Lake Superior from Duluth. This is the Mississippi River, supplied by St. Paul. And this is the St. Paul well water. We really want to get people to think about where their water is coming from.
The great outdoors can be found outside of the Northwoods too. This is one of my favorite stops every year. The DNR Fish Pond is a 50,000-gallon pond full of some of Minnesota's 160 different species of fish. You guys think Ron Schara could catch a fish out of this pond?
No way.
Me neither. Inside the DNR building, a trail through the wildlife wing gives fairgoers a glimpse at life in Minnesota's prairies, wetlands, and forests. From shooting to delicious outdoor eats, the great outdoors defines Minnesota's great summer celebration. Just be sure you stop by the Minnesota Bound Log Cabin and say hello. We'll see you in the Northwoods.
Coming up next, get a sneak peek inside the Minnesota Bound Cabin. We've got bandanas, raven pups, plus a few new surprises.
Minnesota Bound is brought to you by Minnesota Select GMC dealers, Alumacraft, Chase on the Lake, and by Connecticut.
You know what that sound means, right? It's time to get loony at the State Fair. I'm inside the Minnesota Bound Log Cabin, and I'm gonna give you a tour of all the goodies inside here. And we like to start with the Loon Tune because it's always a crowd favorite. The kids love it. This year we have a lot of fun indoor games that you can bring outdoors. I'm gonna start with the dice here. These are hand carved by a gentleman from Minnesota. You can see it's a fun state of Minnesota right there. And you can play a little outdoors with dice or dominoes. If you like to camp, you know there is one thing you can't live without, and that is fire. And here we have the one log fire, handmade in Minnesota, and all you do is light the little fire starter inside there, and you have yourself a fire, well, kind of to go. Also, if you want to start your fire a little bit more traditionally, we have the Fatwood Fire Starter Kit. And all you do is strike your knife on this little metal piece and a couple wood shavings, and poof, you are ready to go. Once you have that campfire roaring, you might as well take advantage of it and do a little cooking over the hot flames. And here we have some Firebugs items. These are again made in Minnesota, and this one's really unique. It's a cast iron skillet that you can fill with dessert, dough, or I would suggest putting in a little ground venison in there and cook yourself up a little burger over the hot flame. And you can't have dinner without dessert. And this item is called the cone cooker. So unique. You put a little waffle cone in there, fill it with s'mores items, and hot s'mores over the campfire. Anyone? Yes, please. Fall season's right around the corner, and you know what that means. It's time for new fashion. And I'm always mad for plaid. So ladies, this year we have a blue flannel plaid shirt so you can dress, hey, just like me. And guys, we didn't forget about you. We have the red buffalo check print shirt with the Minnesota Bound logo on it, so your family can be flannel together. If you want to celebrate your love for Raven, we have the perfect item just for you. Here is the baseball tee, which says Raven University, established 1995, which happens to be the very first year Minnesota Bound aired on KARE 11. Next is a crowd favorite here at the log cabin. It's the Raven puppies. Hey moms and dads, these puppies are guaranteed to go home housebroken and no accidents. Gotta love that. Holiday season will be here before you know it, so it's time to start thinking about giftable items. And speaking of a great stocking stuffer, we have Schara's outdoor calendar. It has all sorts of amazing information in it, including when to buy your hunting and fishing license, when migration patterns happen, when it's time to feed the birds, you name it. We love to encourage kids to get outdoors, and if you have some little fishermen and fisher ladies in your household, these are the perfect little gift. This is called the Dippin' Duck Bobber, and when you have a fish on, guess what? The tail goes up. Makes for a lot of fun in the fishing boat. A great gift for those who are hikers or campers in your life, we have Camp Chow, basically meals on the go. Here's one that's chili, this one's single trail breakfast, and they're made right on the Gunflint Trail. You can't forget about your canine friend at home and bring them a little snack on a stick. These are Maggie's all-natural dog pops. Now, if you think your dog's gonna eat this in 2 seconds, you can go ahead and get a mason jar full of all-natural cookies for your canine pal. When you stop by the Minnesota Bound Log Cabin, you'll notice on the outside that we've planted some native plants to attract monarch butterflies, and we're hoping that you'll do the same right at home. So with your gift with purchase, you're going to take away some milkweed seed to have some monarchs stop by your house. All right, I'm going to take my dog pop to go for bacon, and I'm set. Hope to see you at the fair.
Still ahead, the story behind one of this year's cabin favorites. We head way north to the Gunflint Trail to dig up details on Camp Chow.
This is it.
Closed captioning is brought to you by Minnesota Rebat.
Bill, it looks like lots of people are filing into the Minnesota Bound Log Cabin.
I love it. We like when the place is busy. Hey, you know, our next story is about something we've got in the cabin, Camp Chow. Last winter, we were actually getting ready to head off the grid in the Boundary Waters, and I saw this stuff on a table. They had samples out. One taste of Camp Chow, and I was hooked.
And then we discovered the story behind Camp Chow and decided it was too good not to share.
So many people thirst for a life in its simplest form. A remote reality of all that is raw and natural. Such an existence exists on Minnesota's Gunflint Trail at a must-go mid-trail stop where food rules.
Okay, American Swiss or cheddar?
We love to cook. We love to make fun stuff. It's nerve-wracking when you cook for people.
Sarah Hamilton runs Trail Center Lodge,
I just say it's a restaurant bar with cabins.
an iconic backwoods bistro where Boundary Waters guests celebrate real food right before and right after remote trips.
We have people that come in once a year for that one burger.
See, campers around these parts almost always try and pack light, especially when they haul by skinny boat and backpack.
And that's when I started hearing people say, oh my God, we need real food. You know, our food was terrible, the trip was wonderful.
Sarah found inspiration,
The office.
in the old garage out front.
This is it, all of it. This is why we have 2 employees, and only one of them works in here.
Home of a sudden outdoor obsession.
Here she comes, and this is Dre. She makes every package.
Well, hello.
Dre Lilienthal wouldn't ever take credit for all this,
Ready? How fast can I go? Really fast?
but she has become the brawn behind the brand.
She's in charge. Camp Chow is just an easy food to take out in the wilderness with you. Or camping. You don't have to go clear in the wilderness to use it. It's just easy. All you have to carry along with you is water.
Sarah dreamed up more than 170 dehydrated camp food recipes, all prepped right in their own bag.
It's fun. And we could make 100 more if they would let me. They won't let me.
They would be DeRay. See, she's responsible for whipping up all the recipes and all the orders.
Creamer.
Sometimes bagging food 10 hours straight.
Smells the cheese.
Such is demand for this sudden Boundary Waters brand.
There's not a lot of ingredients in most of them. Mostly just spices. Mostly just your proteins, your carbs, and spices. We just grow it slowly, and I don't know. I'm scared.
She should be. Just listen.
We were the guinea pig at Stone Harbor. Sarah started coming in here with samples.
Now, owner Jack Stone cannot keep Camp Chow on the walls.
I had an employee that worked here who would come in. I'd get a shipment in. I forget what it was some mushroom something or another. And it'd come in, and I'd go back and look at it. It was gone. He was buying it and taking it home and having dinner.
That's saying something
Got it all in there.
about a full meal that comes in a little plastic bag.
Of course, the people that come up into the Boundary Waters are our biggest customers, but it has slowly gotten in different places in the country. So I'm selling it on the Pacific Crest Trail, on the Appalachian Trail, some outfitters in Miami.
Just one problem. Success tends to burn calories.
Every day.
And all Sarah's gas. When the closest shipping station sits 30 miles away, back in town.
I just go to town every day. That's fine. I'll go twice a day.
You know, one note about Camp Chow. After the big hurricane hit Puerto Rico last year, Sarah sent a pile of these meals to help folks down there.
And she even based her recipes off the local fare in Puerto Rico. Very thoughtful.
Absolutely.
Minnesota Bound is brought to you by the Yard maintenance-free outdoor furniture, Running Aces Casino and Racetrack, Bent Creek Golf Club Eden Prairie, and by Totem Resorts, the premier destination for world-class fishing.
Hey, welcome back to our Minnesota Bound State Fair special.
We always try to find unique stories here at the State Fair, and the year 2004 was no different.
Yeah, we ran into an artist who was willing to get down and dirty.
Just so visitors understand how important clean water is to our state.
So, pick a group, sign up, and I'll give you a number and a badge.
And something's always happening on the river, on the river, on the river.
Mississippi River travel may be nothing new.
Hi, Mom.
But artist Steve Bateman's journey may be a bit different than most.
It's fun, though, doing this kind of thing.
He waits as the Harriet Bishop slides through murky Mississippi waters just south of St. Paul. Steve's headed to a place most of us will never see.
I'm looking for things with color, metalwood, anything. Some chapstick.
Call it the land of 10,000 bits of trash, the littered shores of the Mississippi River.
It's just everywhere.
Steve's along as part of the Great River Cleanup.
A little bit of nettle, poison ivy. Yeah, garbage picking is great. There's a whole world in the garbage.
As they say, one man's garbage is another's treasure.
That's the silver. Now I'm looking for the gold.
Or in Steve's case, it's art.
You want to say something, you don't want to just kind of sit in the background.
Art created from the heart.
He sure must know what he's doing.
With a clear message about dirty water.
It says, got drinking water. This is definitely an outlet. Yeah, I enjoy wrestling, rebar, and juggling junk.
Steve creates sculpture from garbage.
Is this going in the State Fair?
Yeah.
All right, congratulations.
Trying to keep the ball rolling, man,
Yep, he's working on the DNR sculpture for the State Fair.
Basically, this is a rough plan for the fish.
Last year's design was a swan.
Got all the pieces from river cleanup. There's a lot of stuff in there. People don't think about it, or really want to think about it, I don't think. And a lot of people drink from that water. Filter it as you may.
And what this sculpture does, it brings the hidden material back up out of the river muck and puts it right in front of an audience.
Thank you.
An audience of 1.6 million annual State Fair visitors. They take with them pictures and leave behind their thoughts.
Oh, it's really unique.
Terrible to see all that junk in the river, and yet pretty unique that someone can put that all together like that.
The whole idea behind this project, make people think twice. After all, you never know where your garbage might end up.
Sadly, the State Fair canceled the Trash to Art program back in 2015.
It's certainly missed by us and plenty of visitors here at the State Fair.
Yeah, maybe they'll bring it back someday.
Hopefully.
Well, that about does it for this week. We'll see you back here next week.
In the meantime, don't forget to introduce a kid to the great outdoors.
Transportation provided by Premier Transportation. Call 1-800-899-7433. To get more Minnesota Bound, including full episodes, go to mnbound.com. And to follow our latest adventures, like us on Facebook.